Yo, what is up guys, Grim here, and in today's video I wanted to highlight a bossing strategy that has become particularly profitable lately, and that is farming Breach Lords and their invitation. So in the background here, you will see me take down a Breach Lord invitation fairly quickly. Obviously my character is fairly geared, but if you're able to do this invitation, especially if you're able to do it out or outvaled, you are up for some big cash right now. You can make a lot of exalts per hour. Definitely it depends a little bit on RNG, but you actually can't lose with the current prices as long as you're using an alchemy orb on this invitation. So you're actually pretty much in the green, and it's very, very easy to kind of get the materials to run this on repeat. You can make a lot of currency per hour doing it. So without further ado, let's get into the strategy. But first, I want to kind of highlight how much drops here. So this is, let me get my big head out of the way. Okay, so this is a transmuted hidden invitation. That's the Breach Lord one here, and it dropped me 3 scarabs, you know, some inconsequential blessings, and it dropped me a unique bow as well. But what's really important here is the 2 orbs of unmaking it dropped for me, and the crescent splinters. I got 3 crescent splinters. I got, you know, a watchstone, 2 orbs of unmaking, and that's only from a transmuted contract, and that's pretty relevant when we get into the actual breakdown of those items. So let's get into it. We see here that Crescent Splinters right now are actually worth 9 chaos each. You can actually get quite a lot of these, and this is again with a transmuted invitation. The reason this is relevant is because if you alch it, you're going to get significantly more increased quantity. I had about 10% increased quantity on my invitation, but you can go all the way up to about 130 if you alch and val them and get good modifiers like an 8 mod. And that's going to give you the chance of getting 5, maybe even 6 of these Crescent Splinters from one invitation. Very, very nice. So when you actually add this up, let's just say that you did an alch invitation and you got, you know, let's just go with 5 because I think that's fairly reasonable for an alch invitation. Let's bring up the calculator. Let's take a look at how much you'd be earning. So 5 times 9, it's 45 chaos already. So that's pretty nice. Let's say that you got an orb of unmaking or 2 as well, like I got 2 here. Let's say that you add that in, you know, let's just add in 1. So you're already up 54 chaos. Very, very nice indeed. You know, we got this watchstone. Let's just price it at 10C because a lot of the watchstones are, you know, around that price. You know, I think this is actually a fairly good one. It's the one that you can use to roll Zana, but we won't include that because, you know, that's just more RNG. You could, of course, get a 1 or 2X one if you get a good one, but most of the time you're going to get a 10C one. So let's just put it on its 10C. So 64C so far, you know, and pretty much guaranteed loot almost. Very, very impressive. You know, it can go up more, you know, it can go down more. But anyway, why is this so good? Well, the reason this is so good is because an invitation for the hidden is actually right now worth anywhere between 10 to 15 chaos. Let's just price it at 15C. Shall we? Let's bring up the calculator again. You know, minus 15, no problem. And you can see that here that there's actually quite a few of them. This guy's got 9, this guy's got 9 as well. You know, you can buy them in bulk. Very, very good indeed. So nice. Let's bring up the calculator again. So 49 chaos. Pretty good profit already just for running this invitation. You're going to make quite a bit of cash. And we'll get into why this is particularly powerful in a minute. But don't forget, to do invitations, you need to witness Breach Lords. So the Breach Lords on the table here are Ulnatul, Zoth, Tool, and Ash. There's 4 of them here, and in order to witness them, you'll need their breach stones respectively. How much are these breach stones right now? So let's quickly just bring up the old website here. So Ulnatul right now fetches about 20 chaos. In reality, this is actually quite a lot cheaper because PoE Ninja right now isn't updating properly. But you know, if you check out the price of Ulnatul, it is fairly cheap and it's pretty nice. So let's just take 20 chaos off there for now. So we're at 29 chaos. You know, how much is a Tool Breach Stone? Right now, it's about 5 chaos. Okay, not too bad. Let's minus 5 chaos. You know, let's go next. Who's up next? Zoth. How much is Zoth? Ooh, 2 chaos. Not too bad either. You know, let's take that off there. You know, and let's go over to Ash. Okay, 2 chaos for Ash as well. So you can see here, even including all of the breach stones and the invitation price, I'm already making 20 chaos. That's pretty damn nice. So that's completely in the green. You cannot lose with this strategy at all. And we're not even getting to the gravy train yet. When I take you guys to the gravy train, you'll see how overpowered this strategy actually is right now. So very, very good margins already. You're already in the green. It's super duper nice. Now, let's get into that gravy train, shall we? So why is this strategy so good right now? Let's start with the fact that you're actually getting to slay these 4 Breach Lords by themselves. And in fact, half of them, or over half of them, are just profitable anyway. So take a look at Ulnatul right now. If you run Ulnatul, you're on average going to make quite a bit of money, 5 to 7 C on average, just from the fact that you have a chance to drop his shield, which is very nice. You can also get like his divination card, which is the escape, which is 12 chaos there because it gives you 7 league steps. All the breach lords, in fact, drop this divination card about 5% of the time, and all of their rare drops are about 5% of the time as well. So 1 in 20, you're going to get the shield, and it's going to absolutely just pay dividends. Very, very nice. So that's Ulnatul. Tul drops the Halcyon, which is again, 200 chaos amulet. Zoth drops like a 40 C amulet, and Ash doesn't really drop anything. But who cares? Ash is so cheap. But it doesn't stop there. So I decided to run 80 breach stones to understand what the drop rate on the hidden invitation actually is. So it's a 15C invitation, and these guys have bulk. So where are they coming from, and how common are they? So I ran 80 breach stones of different types. So I ran, some Zoth, I ran some charged Tul, I ran all 4 of them, and it gave me pretty interesting results. So the first thing I learned is that the drop rate isn't changed by higher tier breach stones. So you'll get the same drop rate at invitations as normal breach stones as pure breach stones. It doesn't change anything, which is pretty interesting information. The next thing I learned is that you can actually drop a myriad of different invitations from these breach lords. I actually got 1 Shaper invite, like the Shaper Guardians, and 1 Elder Guardian invite from my normal breach stones, which is very surprising. In addition to that, I also got invites for, the different Atlas areas like Lyra Arthane and Hayward Camelot and stuff like that. But what was really interesting is I had a 20% chance to drop a hidden invitation. So I did 80. I can't actually remember the exact number. Let's take a quick look. Let me bring it up. Do I still have it? Do I still have it? Here it is. So I did 79. It says charged Ash here, but ignore that. I did 79 invites, and I got 16 hidden invites. So if you go 16 divided by 79, it's okay. That's actually the wrong way. 16 divided by 79. There we go. 20.2% chance to drop. Of course, 80 isn't a massive sample size, but I think it's a pretty good one to start with. It's fairly common to get these 15C drops. Now, what is completely hilarious is that once you actually get into the price of breach stones, which are fairly cheap, the full price of them is actually mitigated by the fact that you're just dropping the invitation themselves. You could actually run Ash, Tul, even Zoth breach stones for profit just by dropping and selling the invitations. So you're actually going to be almost sustaining these breach lord invitations just from running to witness. Now, a really interesting piece of information is that you don't actually need to witness the breach lord's demise with Maven to get it to drop. It drops anytime, even if you don't have the witness button on. So yeah, you can, if you're like kind of a low investment player, just trying to get a bit of currency together, run these breach stones for some money as well. You are going to be able to make some cash, and you're going to triple your money in most cases on average just by selling the invitations. And I have a feeling they're going to go up in price, so you'll probably be able to make quite a lot of money if you just run the breach stone raw and just kind of sell the invitations you get to the people doing this strategy here. So pretty good. You're going to be making that cash. So you're going to have a chance. Let's just sum it up. You're going to make a lot of money just by running these invitations, right? You're going to pretty much pay for everything and make profit already. Then you have a chance at dropping the breach lords, their big loot, the shield, all that kind of stuff like that. And then you also have a chance to sustain or even over-sustain these hidden contracts or hidden invitations, sorry. On average, you won't, but you could get quite a lot of them just for free. So it makes that pretty cheap as well. And the thing that really just brings it home is the fact that you actually have what seems to be unweighted chance at the breach lord invitation, all the breach lords loot at the end in the Crucible. So when you're doing these things, it drops an unusual amount of amulets and shields. It really does. It almost feels like the drop chance of these uniques is almost not weighted. So let's just run through what I mean by that. So if I take a look at the drop table of Ulnatul, so it says it has about 5, it says 7 because that's how many I dropped when I did 100 Ulnatuls. It's about 5% chance to drop the shield, 40% chance to drop the boots, all that kind of stuff like that. But it almost feels like it just chooses one of the 3 uniques. I don't know, maybe that's a small sample size, but I feel like whenever I watch kills of other, kind of invitations, they get a lot of the really good uniques fairly often. So I definitely would want to test a lot more invitations to say this in stone, but I feel like you've got a pretty damn good shot at getting, the Amulet of Tul or the Shield, which is going to take your profit way up, right? So it's going to be pretty insane. So I think this is fairly profitable right now to run Breach Lord invitations. The buy-in is so damn cheap, and you're almost going to over-sustain the invitations. You know, it's so good right now. Give it a go, and let me know how you go in the comments. If you get a shield or something like that, let me know. It does seem pretty broken right now to farm these, and if you're a boss killer looking to make a few exalts per hour, this is definitely something that I consider trying out and doing. You know, if you get a really good watchstone or you get that shield, it's going to be really big spike in your currency. Go buy one of those awesome upgrades you want. So with all that said, hope you guys have enjoyed this little bit of a video. Let me know how you go, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.